gentlemen, boys, and girls. So today we are going to talk about the Renegade. It's the new Tier 8 tank that you can actually win if you work your butt off. If not, you can buy it. I, unfortunately, being that I'm a truck driver and it's hit and miss for times that I can even get on the internet, decided just to go ahead and buy it. And I can tell you right off the bat, I love the tank. It does have one huge downfall, which is that commander's hatch. It's just huge. Um, but it's not easy to hit if you're at a distance and you shake back and forth. Wiggle back and forth. If you're up close and personal, yeah, it's pretty easy for him to lob one into that because it's pretty good sized. And it's pretty weak too. And we'll go over the armor inspector. I haven't looked to see if they have it. I imagine, or at least I'm hoping they do. But all in all, I really do like the tank. But let's go over it all real quick, and we'll just go from there. So the gun on this is actually pretty fantastic. A Tier 9 gun, 226 standard pen with AP, 255 with APCR, and 53 for HE. 360 average damage, which is pretty nice. You don't hear me complaining. For a heavy, I wish it were a little bit more, but it does have a pretty good reload. 440 average damage with HE, with 53 pen though, yeah, fat chance there. Armor on this it's so-so. Your hull armor in the front is 152, which is actually pretty good. It's like your T110E5 and the M103 body, basically. So you got 152 on the hull in the front, 250 on the turret. But you got this right here, which makes your front, unless you're like haul down and you put your gun up like in front of it like this, so you can kind of hide, from hitting that. Then it's a little bit harder, but then they just shoot up through here. So it's one of those tanks you love to hate and you hate to love. I really do like it though. I mean, it does have that is we'll say a weakness. That big old commander's hatch. And I wish if they were going to put these commander hatches on them like this, they actually made them so they were semi-strong. Because, I mean, a freaking Tier 2 could probably shoot through that thing. I mean, I haven't looked at it yet, but everything that's hit me in that commander's hatch so far has gone right through me like butter. And got good slopes on the turret. I'm thinking this is probably right here a weak spot because it's pretty flat. But otherwise, it's and right here probably too. I imagine there's a hitbox in that. It's part of the turret. So we'll see once we look at the armor inspector. On the side, you got 140 on the turret and 76 on the hull, so you can do some pretty decent side scraping. And on the rear, it's a normal, average U.S. tank, nothing. 38 on the hull, 40 on the turret. And it's nice and flat, so if they hit you on the back of that tumor up there with an HE shell in the back, yeah, it's not going to feel too hot. Average damage per shot, 360. Average penetration, we did that. Rate of fire, 6.97 rounds a minute. I got a pretty decent crew in this. My reload is 8.61. I went with a gun rammer, the vertical stabilizers, and believe it or not, I went with binocular telescopes to get that view range out there because this tank, to be honest with you, is definitely, it's not a brawler just due to the fact it's got that huge weak spot. I mean, if they get up close to you, they just pound you right through that commander's hatch. If you're back a ways, well, then you take a shot and you wiggle back and forth, and it's not easy for them to hit. So I wanted to get that view range out there because I could have went with improved ventilation, which would have given me a better dispersion because the dispersion on this isn't the best either. But you work with what you got and you try different things. I mean, if I'm finding out that it's not good, at long distance shooting, then maybe I'll change it around a little bit, try it as a brawler and see what happens. Gun traverse is 36.27, which is pretty good, and the hull traverse is 37.33, which is pretty good. It's not a medium, it's not a light. You're not going to circle stray people with it. I mean, it's got decent speed, but it's like I said, it's not a medium. Gun depression's awesome at -20 and elevation, -10. Be nice if it was -20. -10 for the gun depression and elevation is +20. Aim time is It's okay at 2.34. I wish it were definitely, and even the high ones would be nice. Dispersion 0.36, so it's not super accurate. Average damage per minute is 2510. You get 1500 hit points, which is pretty darn good. It's a 50-ton tank, so you can actually smack into people and you'll do more damage to them than they do to you. 800 horsepower engine with a 50-ton tank. You're looking at a 15.94 specific power to weight, which is actually pretty darn good for a heavy tank. Top speed and forward is 45, and reverse is 17. I wish it were a little bit higher in reverse, like 20 to get you out of one of the, those little tight spots you get yourself into. Concealment, yeah, well, it's a heavy tank, 7.36. View range, I've got mine up to 537, but again, that's with the binocular telescopes, and signal range is 761. So, all in all, I really do like it. I love the looks of it. It's really awesome looking, but looks don't win you matches. Um, Dispersion, well, oh boy, that .36. It's definitely not a sniper. I mean, it's going to be good for mid-range to close range, but if you start getting out there and um, if you were watching the replay that I did with this tank where I got squished, you'll see in one of the shots that I took at a T-25 pilot, I was fully aimed in, aiming at him for a few seconds, took a shot, and the round just went flying up to the left like a curveball. So yeah, anything at range, it's just subpar, I guess you could say. But to work on getting that dispersion down. I don't know if I'll throw food on there. I haven't been lit on fire. Got crushed, but I haven't been lit on fire yet. So I might take off maybe the fire extinguisher and throw food on there and get that down a little bit, and look at my crew skills and see if there's anything I can change around. I might take, I don't know, I might take off the binocular telescopes and add the vents, which that'll get it down a little bit too. So all in all, I could probably get that down to about 0.33, um, maybe 0.32. Then it's going to be a little more accurate, but we'll have to see. But if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll have some gameplay and some post-game stats, so hold on and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so the M54 Renegade. I did look and I noticed that your 10 degrees of gun depression, and it's kind of a common thing with the American tanks. When you aim over the back, you lose some of your gun depression due to the fact that the engine deck pops up, and this is no different. It goes all the way down to about 6, right off the very back. So if you're going to want to shoot at something that's, down a little bit, you definitely don't want to try shooting off the back side of your tank, go off the front, because yeah, you can see it starts going down from 10 to 8, 9, 8, 6, 6 to the very back there. But we'll go to the 3D model, and I looked at this uh, growth, we'll call it, and it is a little bit stronger than I thought, but it's still pretty weak. I mean, you got anything that's got, about 170, I'd say 178, 175 or above, is going to have probably about a 50-50 chance of going through this, like your IS-6 standard rounds. Um, so you get up around 180, 190, 200, it'll definitely go through that, which, was to be expected. If you can keep that thing hidden with a building or something, come over where you got that growth hidden growth, commander's hatch hidden by, let's say, a wall or something, then it's a different story. Yeah, good luck penning this turret. It is a beast. I mean, you're looking at 300. It says 250, 220, but with the angles and everything, you're looking at auto, just auto bounce, auto ricochets. And here I thought that was a weak spot. Nope, that is definitely not a weak spot. Um, Yeah, don't even waste shells on the cheeks. A lot of people try putting rounds through the cheeks, but that ain't gonna happen. That's just auto ricochet. Um, yeah, you're looking at 110 across the upper plate. With the slope and everything, you're looking at 212, give or take. Will definitely go through the upper plate. and the center. Your lower plate is pretty weak. 100 millimeter, 114. So about, yeah, pretty much everything will, yeah, IS-6 would even go through that. KB5 would go through that lower plate, no problem. So lower plate on this, definitely a weak spot. Big artillery target. They hit you up here, you're in a deep a dildo. Get hit in the back. HE shells will have a heyday with the rear of this. But you can see on the sides you're not going to be doing too hot. Let's see. Oops. I was going to do, well, let's go to the live model. Yeah, you can see with the live model, you can see with your a little bit better on the turret. You can see how weak that hatch is there. All in all, it's a really nice tank. You know, it looks awesome. But yeah, that's your Achilles heel right there. That commander's hatch, your machine gun port, wherever you want to call it. Very, very weak. But anyways, yeah. So if you want to hold on, I'll have some gameplay for you, and then some post-game stats. I'll be right back. Hey. That's Fat Albert. Ooh. That's loud. Because my assistance has been requested. That's probably too low. Well, we'll leave it at that. So anyways, like I said, I never say no to a platoon invite, and I was invited to a platoon. So I took it. It was a guy over here in the M4190 GF. I thought it was Super Pershing. Oh, it was. It was this guy over here in the T26E4 Super Pershing. So I was going to head into the city where I wanted to go, but I noticed no one was going to the valley. And I actually absolutely hate going to the valley, but with one tank destroyer heading that way, they would have been overrun and we'd have been getting shot in the keister. And I figured with the amount of people going to the city, not a problem. They've got this covered. You're going to see when I hit the dirty muck up here, the ground resistance on this tank must really suck, because look how, at first I thought my game was lagging. That's how slow I started going. I actually looked up at my ping to make sure it wasn't like up at 300 or 900. I was like, wow. So the ground resistance on this must really suck in soft dirt. I wish I would have been able to get a shot off on that thing right there, that Pershing. But he lit up and he took a quick pot shot at our Super Pershing and kept rolling up the hill there. So by the time I would have got a shot off, I'd have missed. And the Progetto 46 gets a shot into our Super Pershing. So I wanted to get up here and try and help kind of back him up there. And the reasons I hate going valley, and everybody probably already knows, artillery sits right back here. You can't see them. They just lob shells at you time after time. And to top it off, I don't know if I can even zoom in up the hills there. Tank destroyers will set up in these bushes right here, and they will just throttle you shell after shell and not light. So I figured I'd try and use this rock to my advantage, but then if there's anything sitting over there in the bushes, guess what? I'm going to get hit. And this gives them my lower plate. So first hit that hits me right there in the front lower plate takes out my ammo rack. And I'm finding that this gets ammo racked substantially. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit because you can't even hear when I get hit. It gets ammo racked a lot. I mean, I think I get ammo racked twice in this battle. Yeah, I did. At least twice, maybe 3 times. So I'm trying to back up, and I back into the tank destroyer, which I have no clue why he was trying to get up here, because this is just, I mean, it's a tank destroyer, no turret. It's not like he's going to roll around that, rock and take a shot. So aim at the weak spot on the old Pershing. Another thing, if you ever have a haul down T-32, aim for that commander's hatch. If you hit, it's a little tougher to penetrate the commander's hatch on the T-32. And kablam, that's what I love about taking the valley. So we actually do bounce around. I'm kind of this, first match in this. I'm trying to find where I'm bouncing rounds. And of course, I can't see where he even hit me. Go figure. Huh. Interesting. Well, if you guys see where it hit me, let me know. Usually if it's well, that's true. If it's a bounce, oh, right there. Right there. I was afraid that was going to be a weak spot, and he nailed me right here. It was a standard round, but that's still like 212, so that must not be a weak spot. I was when I did the review of the tank, I was wondering about that if that was going to be a weak spot, and he plugged me right there, and it bounced. But if he had aimed up there, guaranteed he probably would have penned. So that kind of answers that question. So I imagine that is definitely not a weak spot. Good. But boy, do you get ammo racked a lot in this thing, man. That's I think every round they hit me in that front lower plate, ammo racked me. I'm pretty sure it was at least 2 times, maybe a third. But you can see, I mean, just 2 tanks here, unless you YOLO into it. And we just got hit again, and guess what? Ammo rack, same exact spot, and it re-ammo racked me again. And he's shooting premium rounds. How nice, in my lower plate. But like I said, ammo rack city on this thing, so I'm definitely going to put safe stowage on it. I've got 13 seconds till my ammo rack is, or till I can use my repair kit. Let's see, where did he hit me that time with his lovely gold round? Oh, that one he just put in my upper plate. That's what happens when somebody hits number 2. Makes them 20 to 30% better. I love when people play tier 8s against nothing but tier 8s and they gotta sling premium rounds like a fucking noob. Excuse my language. You know, I could have been slinging premium rounds. No, you see me aiming for what? Weak spots, like that. Bye-bye. Now you can go back to the garage and count your premium shells that you didn't get to shoot. Butt monkey. Now, if it were a tier 9 or 10 match, yeah, I'd probably be shooting some premium rounds because obviously I'm shooting at tanks that are a higher tier than me that are harder to pen. But when I'm shooting at tier 8 tanks and I'm in a tier 8, and this got really good, 226 I think it is, standard around. So now I'm taking some blind shots into the, 226, into the bushes over there because I got hit by the Con JPZ 105, and that did not feel good. That was 414 of my health gone. And where did he actually hit me in the lower plate too? Surprised that didn't hit my ammo rack. But you can see now I'm, too afraid to pull out there, and I'm just taking shots and hoping maybe I'll hit him and do some damage or scare him off, but I actually don't even think I did hit him. I'm kind of just watching the city, and I'm thinking to myself, oh great, we're down to 1 heavy, a medium, tank destroyer, actually 2 mediums, a heavy, and a tank destroyer in the city. And look at our Progetto. Right where he needs to be. Jesus. I tell you guys, some people, I just don't know why they even play World of Tanks, because they always seem to get put on my team. But yeah, here in a couple more days, or whenever they have that new patch come out, you won't be able to tell who the window lickers are in your team till after the match. Then you can see after you get Rompel stomped who the window lickers are. It just hides them during the match, and then it reveals them after. But yeah, as the ground resistance, you can see how slow I'm spinning. It's just the ground resistance on this thing must really be bad. And you know what I forgot to do? I couldn't remember how to tell somebody to back up. I'm sitting here aiming at him not to shoot him, but you'll see finally I figured out what button to hit. I tell him, I'm like, back up, dude. Let him come over the hill. And I was contemplating going to the left. I'm like, if he just wants to sit there, well, whatever. Because I saw him coming through the city, and it wasn't looking good. And then all of a sudden the Progetto lights up. I'm like, God bless America. You know, if that TS5 were to have backed up, could have let the Progetto come over and, you know, we could have just nailed him, taken him out, and then Valley probably would have been clear, and then we could have worked on the tanks that are just rolling over everybody through the city. Yeah, you can see I just told him right there, TS5, fall back. But nope, just sit there and aim at nothing. I was kind of waiting for him to pop up over the hill because I figured, well, he can just shoot that TS5 one more time and take him out and roll up over, which now that they have basically taken the city out, I figured, okay, he's on his own. There's nothing I can do. I'm going to have to try protecting the cap and our Progetto, which is hiding behind artillery. And there's a TS5 doing a phenomenal job of nothing. He gets taken out in a second. I'm not lit. I get hit here in a second. I had to have been lit, obviously, here in a second. Once I fire, hit the UD's 14.5, I get lit, and I get thumped, but it bounces by Progetto over there somewhere. But now it's just a matter of time, because you can see that Progetto's going to take out our TS5. Take a shot at the 101P, and bounce. Look at this. I just can't. I'm shocked at all the people that just shoot premium rounds. It's like, why? Aim for weak spots, see? Instead of hitting number 2 and going through that VK 101P anywhere, I aim for weak spots. Unfortunately, I took a shot and still didn't knock his track off, so it was off a little bit. But still, you know, it's not necessary to shoot premium rounds when you're at the same tier with everything. It's like, why? 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 And there goes artillery, and the Progetto 46 that stayed back there and hid the whole time. That's when they die, they deserve it, because it's like you didn't help the team at all. You hid back here. Literally, he was back here in this corner like the whole freaking match. But anywho, yeah, so we're going to hold on for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and I'll do, let me think. How do I want to do this? Well, I'll go ahead and I'll do Armor Inspector now, well, after this part here. So, no, I'm going to do it before. I'm messing with you. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I'll do Armor Inspector and throw it in before the replay here, so that way you can see what kind of armor it has and where the weak spots are. So if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll have some post-game stats for you, though. So hold on, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here's the results of that match. Telling you guys, have you ever had one of those tanks? No matter what you do, you cannot win. This is my tank that is right on the money for that. 7 matches and 1 win. I've got a 14% win rate in this tank so far. I love the tank. It just, no matter what, whenever I play it, I get a team that just, they got their tongue stuck right to the window. Just a bunch of window lickers. I mean, every frickin' match. This one, I had somebody shot me an invite, and I took it. I was going to head to the city. Well, we had 1 tank and 1 tank destroyer heading to the valley. I absolutely hate going valley. You just get throttled by artillery. If you've got a weak commander's hatch like this tank does, you don't even come over the hill and they're nailing it. You get tank destroyers that are sitting back in the bushes and they just nail you and they don't even get lit, and they're, oh yeah, I just absolutely hate going valley. But I wasn't going to leave it with 1 tank and 1 tank destroyer because they would have just rolled right over them. And it was a good thing I did go that way because there was an enemy Progetto and a Pershing, and they had a tank destroyer hidden in the back that John 105, whatever it is, I couldn't even see it, and he was just nailing the snot out of me. But, yeah, so anyways, we we bounced around from the enemy Renegade. The VK 101P, we put one in his lower plate for 381, bounced one on his lower plate. Oh my God, bless America. Knocked his track off, spotted him, he got hit for 430 damage upon his spotting. Pershing, we hit him 3 times for 1,043, finished him off. He got hit for 198 upon his spotting. bounced around from the Progetto 46 for 240, and the other Progetto 46, we bounced one for 240, hit him 2 times for 746, and the UD's 14-5, we put one into him for 356, and knocked out his fuel tank. We did the most damage at 2,526, got 1 kill, base experience of 457, obviously a loss. We had 11 shots, 9 hits, 7 pens, shot 1 premium, and the rest were standard. Total damage 25-26. Got hit 8 times, 5 pen, 3 bounced, 2 splash damage hits from artillery, so we blocked a whopping 840. Damage 4, destroyed 1. Damage with our assistance 628. After all was said and done, walked away with 54,241 credits. Not bad for a loss. This gold is for that gold drop that you get for if you're a veteran and you set up the ID.me account. You can have what they call, you could purchase it, and every day you play, you got to win a match, and then you get a gold drop. It's only good for 30 days. I think I got like 5 days left on one and a couple left on the other. So all in all, the match for me was good, but unfortunately for the team, it sucked. WNA for that match was 21-39, so good match. I mean, all in all, but just unfortunately, like I said, every time I play it, we lose. But since we're talking about this tank, normally I would do the review at the beginning, and actually I think I will. That way it doesn't get people confused. So anyways, yeah, if you enjoyed this match, please click the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I will see you on the battlefield.